Hare Krishna. I am Chaitanya Charan and I've been studying and teaching the Bhagavad Gita for over 2.5 decades, doing Bhakti Shastri courses. And I've noticed that many devotees who start practicing bhakti often have difficulty connecting with the Gita. Either they find its philosophy impenetrable, or they find that other aspects of bhakti, hearing Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, is more relatable. And we seem to see Bhagavad Gita as a preliminary book which we move ahead from. Well, that is one way of looking at things. The Bhagavad Gita itself can actually nourish our bhakti. So I'll talk about 3 meditations or exercises by which we can see Bhagavad Gita not just as a preliminary book to introduce us to spirituality, but as a book that can consistently empower and enliven us in our devotion. The first is focus on the personal beyond the philosophical. That see the Bhagavad Gita not just as philosophies given in a wisdom book, see it as the words spoken by Krishna to Arjuna, and by extension, the Paramatma within our hearts to us. So when we see from this perspective, and Vishwanath Thakur's commentary is especially helpful in this, and Prabhupada draws on it at several places in his in Bhagavad Gita as it is. When he talks about what is Krishna thinking when he's speaking some things? What is Arjuna speaking? When we see the personal behind the philosophical, then we'll see the Gita is not just philosophy. It is actually Krishna's love for Arjuna and his love for all of us coming through the medium of philosophical wisdom. The second is see the Gita as a source of prayer. So personal vision, then prayerful resource. What does that mean? That if we find that a particular verse attracts us, illuminates us, inspires us, or even if a particular verse we have memorized, then don't just see it as an intellectual thing for memorizing. Next time when we go in front of the altar, pray to the Lord, meditate on that verse and think of that verse as having come from the lotus lips of Krishna. Those same lips which are speaking or singing the Venu Geet, from which the sweet song of the flute comes from, those very lips, the Bhagavad Gita has come. And when we see this, then we will find that the Gita will become much, much more personal. We find that these words are being spoken by Krishna to Arjuna. So in our devotional meditation on Krishna, we can see the Gita's wisdom and Gita's verses as resources. And third, if we want to go in further, we can transform verses that inspire us into prayers. That means, if say we like the verse, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, you can pray to Krishna, Krishna, whatever I'm offering to you, it is small, but please let me offer it with my heart. Please let there be devotion in my heart with which I offer it to you. If we want realization of a particular verse, we want Dehi nosmi nitha dehi. Krishna, please, throughout the day, let me remember how my existence goes beyond my body. Give me realizations of this. So even Krishna's instructions we can transform into prayers. Karmande vadikaraste. Krishna, while doing my work, let me not be so obsessed with my results. Let me focus on doing them in a mood of service to you. And if we, especially in 1870, where Krishna says that when we are studying the Gita, it is not just engaging our intelligence. It's actually using our intelligence to worship Him. Just like we may use a lamp to worship the Lord. So studying the Gita can be an intimate act of devotional worship, where we are using our intelligence to do arti of the Lord. So let me study the Gita in a mood of worship to you, Krishna. In this mood, if we function, we'll find that the Gita will enrich and enliven our heart with ever deepening and ever sweetening waves of devotion. Thank you.